sit the person down and seek to clarify. And don't come ready to fight. Just come to listen. So the day so far, we had the one-on-one with Sam to get through some slight misunderstanding that we had about what we're trying to do moving forward. Then had we're trying to land that client and close that deal. That went profoundly better than we thought. Not only do they want what we've proposed, they actually want us to put more effort into what it would take to extend the contract further. Hopefully we'll have success with that. The third meeting after that was with another one of the big thought fire.
Each of the acquired little groups, they still do what they do, but they lend a hand to the overall, so let's say ThoughtFire gets a client that, aside from our consulting work, like they also, it turns out they need someone to manage their social media. Well, before that we would have to go and find this other group that does social media, but if we have instead under the ThoughtFire umbrella a small team that's what they're really good at and that's what their business is, well then now we don't have to look at it, and the economics are a little better for it.
Founding team members that I'm seeking to join me. This is the gentleman who could potentially be the chief technical officer on the business side of the automated solutions piece. Fourth meeting that's coming up is going to be with someone who founded one of the major marketing firms here in town, and now he's on his own, and we're talking about how we together can help enhance sort of the situation of young people getting developed into better professionals. Fifth meeting after that is the press conference for University of Emsville getting the Ashoka designation. Next meeting after that is with the chairman of one of the biggest hospital network here in the area. And then the seventh meeting and final meeting of the day, of the DIZE. The final meeting of the DIZE is going to be with Zach. We're going to regroup after our meeting with Brad Kimmel from WNIN. We're going to regroup and talk about our plan for the pilot of our show. Squirrel! Fam, today we've got a lot of meetings going on. Actually was able to bring back something that I felt I was kind of losing a grip on a little bit. What happened is there was an exchange, there was an understanding that we had, but I think there was a little bit of ambiguity, and that was intentional because I hadn't yet figured out how we want to make it work. For him, I wanted him to not feel that I was pushing a certain way that we're supposed to work together or partner together before we had all the information. So anyway, his communication back to me was, well, here's kind of how I would do this, but I don't want to be the one who leads it. See if someone else on your team can lead it. And it was through email. And so I was taken aback because all our conversations up to that point had been like, wow. Wow. You know, he was in, I was in, we were both excited. And then this email came and I thought something had to have changed. And it turned out when I sat down and talked to him this morning, it turned out that he wasn't comfortable with the ambiguity. He didn't know what his role was going to be, how it was really going to work. And I had never made that clear. And I had never necessarily made clear that we're going to clear this ambiguity once we get facts. I never relayed that specifically to him. So to him, he was thinking that I understood what was happening, but didn't relate to him. He just felt like this ambiguity was going to continue forever. And so he was like, look, I don't want to do this. And so I was able to manage through that, understand where he was coming from, sought to understand first before being understood, and then explained my take on where we are in our development of this partnership and when things will become much clearer, and then things were much better. He was all in. So 3 things that are lessons from this. 3 lessons I want to make sure, fam, you take away from this. 1 is don't accept a communication that you are not pleased with at face value. Don't react to it negatively. Just because someone comes back with something that's not what you expect, don't automatically get angry or get frustrated or allow your emotion to guide your reaction to that. Seek first to understand, especially if it's email. I can't tell you how many times people, because of emails or text messages, they draw a conclusion, and in the end that conclusion is just a horrible conclusion compared to what the person's intention was. The second lesson is sit the person down and seek to clarify. So don't draw the conclusion is the first lesson. The second lesson is actually take the time, sit the person down, and just talk it out. And don't come ready to fight. Don't come ready with your reaction. Oh, well, if it turns out that what I thought was what he was saying, this is how I'm going to react. Don't come with that. Just come to listen. with an open mind and an open heart, and see what that person's, try to empathize and see what that person's perspective is and why they might have had a change of heart or why they are saying what they're saying. And then the third lesson is don't give up. Just because a person says they no longer want to be in doesn't mean you need to give up on them. Now, I am one of the proponents who says when someone isn't all in, don't try to keep pulling them back in. I am one of the proponents of that. That if a person's a flight risk, it's better for you to let them go than to try to draw them back in. But if a person was committed to you, and they've always been committed, and then something happened, and they communicate it by email or whatever, you need to understand, and probably clearing whatever it is that they misunderstood, if it's a misunderstanding, takes care of it. That's not the same as drawing someone back in as a flight risk. That's just you taking care of business the way you should when it comes to communication. But anyway, the 3 lessons this time are: don't draw conclusions from first communication, seek to clarify and seek to understand, and then don't give up. See you next time.